Hi, Pisces rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 9th of March until the 15th of March. This might be a very important week for you, actually, because you are ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is going direct in your fifth house, meaning that the last 4 months you might have felt a little bit stuck in your romantic life or when it comes to creative project, even gains as well. But it looks like the momentum is moving forward. We also have got this intense Pallas Mercury activity happening in your first house, which is your sign. So you are becoming this master strategist, deconstructing your own identity and coming up with a plan for the future. But let's break it down. First stop is that last 4 months of Jupiter moving backwards in your fifth house. Maybe stalled your creative projects a little bit. Maybe it put a hold onto your romantic life. Maybe people didn't notice you as much as you would have liked to. Or you might have had initiations in romantic endeavors, but maybe they didn't necessarily work out. It could have been like you were stuck in a conceptual loop. Now, it doesn't mean you didn't have the inspiration, but somehow you might have lacked the momentum to act on it. And this is about to be ending. The great expander moves forward and it brings you a lot more joy, but it is also asking you to take risks as well. It's kind of like the universe is telling you to go to your passion. Now, but the week starts with Mercury retrograde meeting Pallas Athene in your first house, and you might be spotting certain type of patterns within yourself. You are kind of like finding a structural flow in how you present yourself to the world. Maybe you are realizing some of your self-sabotaging habits, something that you might have missed a dozen times before, but now you come up with a plan and you are ready to move forward. This is a mastermind type of energy where we are meant to be troubleshooting our physical health, our vitality, basically how we are presenting ourselves to troubleshoot you. And this isn't about being self-critical, actually. It's about more of a rebranding yourself, rebuilding kind of like your entire architect of your own. So if you want a new career, a new life, it says that you must fix the blueprint of your personality first. And it doesn't mean there is something wrong with your personality, but let me give you the type of like, you know, like what I've recognized by talking to a friend of mine the other day. What I've recognized is that, I enjoy saving people, but at the same time, I complain a lot about it. And because obviously you save someone because you expect something back in return. So these are the type of things that we have to be able to fix or recognize within about ourselves. Now, of course, Jupiter, the ruler of your first house, is in the fifth house, so this might be very connected to your romantic life as well. The fifth house is the heart center here. So if romantic connections, artistic launches, or even efforts with children have been stalled since November, then you might see that things are going to start moving forward. Maybe it's again a creative brand you wanted to launch back in January, and maybe it's finally getting noticed by others. Maybe a romantic partner you were struggling to connect with finally opens up to you, or you are able to open up towards them. This is telling you to take a leap of faith, potentially in someone. It says present your art to others. It's about pitching your creative vision. It's about posting your brand because the world is ready for you. Remember, Pisces, I have launched, for example, at the end of January, my membership program. And while it really went well, but I'm thinking about relaunching it and making certain very tiny modifications to it. So this is exactly what this Jupiter in the fifth house might be talking to you about. Over the weekend, we do have got Mars and North Node meeting point as well in your first house, and that's an action point there. You might feel this urge to take a major physical action, to make a public statement. The North Node is scary, but it is it's sometimes not logical in the sign of Pisces, but it's your destiny, and we have to be able to step on it. It says trust your impulses. This is about being bold, let's say to sign up for a sport retreat or to make changes in your physical appearance. This is also about you building up your body, and Ceres enters your third house this week, and it's going to remain there for a good 3 month. And you're going to start nurturing yourself through communication and potentially being a little bit more part of it, a local environment. Um, you are very focused on the self, that's undoubted, but it's about you have to be able to ground your connections as well. Series would say that to you. So you might have to be organizing your local affairs a little bit. Series in Taurus wants you to find security in what you know and who you know. Therefore, making connections to others, going back to schools, building different type of skills might be actually imperative. Maybe you can nurture your soul by having very grounded conversations with others, and maybe that's with a romantic partner. Or what am I feeding my mind with? So let's look at our communication tools. Let's see whether we are using them, optimizing them in the best as possible way. So, what it really feels like is that you are the mastermind of your own life. You are the only one who can save yourself. You are the only one who can ignite your passion, your creative flow. And then, if you do so, then let's go towards that. It's a creative dream that you can actually launch this week, but follow your intuition and make sure that the message is potentially simple or practical, Taurus, with series in there, kind of like something that people find tangible and that they can use in their everyday life. Remember, you are the architect of your own life. Your creativity is limitless, and then you can start building security if you come across very confident to others as well. And all these first house activations, sometimes can be very draining as well. But it feels like with the Mars North Node conjunction, potentially this is about a physical uplift also. And Jupiter, of course, moves direct as well. So that's going to be boosting your vitality as well. Being in the house of sport, for example, if you have been doing sport, you might have been lacking slightly bit. And then it's about building something back from up, from ground, but your strength seems to be coming back. Your self-worth seems to be coming back. Maybe you start looking into the mirror and then you see a better reflection of yourself as well. But let's use the beginning of the week to just solve self-sabotaging behaviors. And we can all improve slightly bit. So it's okay to look into the mirror and identify certain type of flaws. But let's not go too vague with it. I can tell you that next week I'm going for a bit of a facial treatment. So hopefully I'm going to look again 25. And that's a bit of a vanity. Jupiter in the fifth house does such thing. And if you are single, this might be the week when you need to be putting yourself out there because you can be noticed. Yes, your relationship planet is still retrograde. So looking at your relational structures with Mercury Pallasatinic conjunction might be super important to discover something within yourself so that you can start attracting romantic partners. So good luck, Pisces, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.